Why do drug dealers still live with their mothers? A question that seems to be asked, but never to be answered. Here's why. A crack gang pretty much works like the standard capitalist enterprise. You have to be near the top of the pyramid to make a big wage. A lot of people who are in the crack dealing business are only foot soldiers, which is a person who sells crack on the streets. They make about $3.30. That's less than minimum wage. In the crack dealing business, there are 3 officers. 1, an enforcer, who ensures the gang's safety. 2, a treasurer, who watches over the gang's liquid assets. And 3, a runner, who transports large quantities of drugs and money to and from the supplier. Beneath the officers were the street-level salesmen known as foot soldiers. The goal of a foot soldier was to someday become an officer. The officer is the top-notch people who are making the $32,000 a month profit. Here's an example of the monthly profit of a drug dealer. Sales represent only the money from dealing crack cocaine. Selling crack cocaine is one of the most profitable jobs in America. You would think that after making a monthly wage of $32,000 that you could afford a home. But the only way you're going to make this much money is if you're at the top notch, and a lot of people aren't. You have to work your way up to the top to get to this place. Here's the typical fate you would have faced during the period of the crack boom if you were selling crack on the streets. The number of times you were arrested would be 5.9. Number of non-fatal wounds or injuries, not including injuries meted out by the gang itself for rules and violations, 2.4. And chances of being killed, 1 in 4. A 1 in 4 chance of being killed. Over 4 years' time, a timber cutter would stand only a 1 in 200 chance of being killed. Or compare the crack dealer's odds to those of death row inmate in Texas, which executes more prisoners than any other state. In 2003, Texas put to death 24 inmates, or just 5% of nearly 500 inmates on death row during that time, which means you stand a greater chance of dying while dealing crack in Chicago housing project than you do while sitting in death row in Texas. So if crack dealing is the most dangerous job in America, and if the salary is only $3.30 an hour, why on earth would anyone take such a job? Well, for the same reason that a pretty Wisconsin girl goes to Hollywood. For the same reason a high school quarterback gets up at 5 a.m. every morning to lift weights. They all want to succeed in an extremely competitive field in which, to reach the top, you are paid a fortune, not to say nothing of the attendant glory and power. The job of a gang boss, highly visible and highly lucrative, was easily the best job they thought they had access to.